Just planting seeds, guys. Okay, so the other day you saw me make a video and I said, like in Crocodile Dundee, there's a scene where the guy gets robbed and he's got this little knife, and then Crocodile Dundee takes out this huge knife and says, "That's not a knife, this is a knife," right? So I did a video about that saying, like, this is not a Bible, right? Wait a minute. So I said, this is a Bible, right? So, look, god damn, it's so huge I can't even take it out of the box. It weighs a ton. Like, Jesus Christ, this is a heavy book, right? So, I said, this is a Bible, right? So that's my English Bible. It's Oxford. I made a video about that. You can go and see it. And this is my French Bible. And I wanted to have, my aunt died not too long ago, and I always told her, when you die, I want your Bible. She had this most beautiful Bible. But anyway, the way it worked out, I wasn't able to get anything, like a nightmare. I don't have anything that belonged to my aunt, And there was pictures of, pictures of the family. And anyway, that's not important. So, so I had this video, right? I said I'm going to jump from the Bible to BDSM. Now, when did you ever heard of a preacher talking about the Bible and BDSM? Probably never, right? But it's important, and I said that I'm going to address many topics, philosophy, politics, justice, and, like so many things. But the thing I want to say here is that you cannot just drop information in the world. So Jesus could not have appeared on the scene and start preaching. The world had to be prepared for the coming of Jesus. So there was John the Baptist, and he was preparing the way. Whether you believe in God, religion, that doesn't matter, because it's the same thing in the secular world, in places that they don't believe in Jesus. It's always the same thing, right? Life is life. And you cannot just drop content, because the people are, it's like in the Matrix, right? Neo is not ready to receive the content, Maybe that's the point of the movie, because the content is too hard to swallow. So you have to plant seeds. You have to prepare the road. So, like, I've been posting a few videos about the dominatrix there, and the reason I'm doing that is because she produced a video saying BDSM has gone too far, and I saw that popping in my YouTube, and I clicked on it and I watched it, and it's something that I wanted to address. So, it's important to support and to share somebody who's trying to do the same work you're doing. And it's the same with Miley Cyrus, right? I was in a battle against bad music. I wanted old music to come back and better music to be produced. So the way to do that is you start posting old music. And then while I was doing that, I clicked on Billy Idol, and I see Miley Cyrus singing with Billy Idol, and this girl can sing. So Miley Cyrus was doing the same thing I was doing. I was battling against bad music. I wanted to bring back old music. And Miley Cyrus was bringing back, like, whatever, That's pretty weird. She probably doesn't like new music like me. So anyway, you can't just drop content like that. So in BDSM, not just in BDSM, like right now everybody is on the internet, and they're, like porn is all over the internet. You can't imagine what's over the internet. Like, I know a lot of things that goes on the internet that most people don't even know is happening. That's the underground, right? So this is what we want to talk about. So 8mm was a movie that was made about the BDSM underground, and I had that movie in my head almost the same as 8mm with Nicolas Cage, but a bit different. But I wanted to do something like that before they did 8mm. But you can't just I can't just appear on the scene and start talking about that. So I must, and at the same time, I'm a Christian, right? And I'm going to talk about that also, because when you pronounce the word Christian, the people, bang, they have this, oops, the guy's a Christian. Oops, he's perfect, and that's the point. When you say you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Jew, you're religious, the people, they run away, like, I don't know if they're scared to be judged or what, but the people who are religious, they're on the internet searching for porn also, yeah, and they're getting caught in all kinds of scandals, yeah, the only difference is they're doing it in secret, and some people are doing it in the open. Like, I was in strip joints every night. Everybody I know knew that. I never hid that I was in strip joints. My first girlfriend was named Carol, right? And she knew about it. I even brought her to the strip joint. Now, she got mad when she got there, but anyway, that's another story. So that's what I wanted to say. You cannot just appear on the scene and drop content like you see in the Matrix, right? Neo was not ready. And the most important thing of Christianity and the entire Bible and all religion that people miss, because I don't hear too many people speaking about that. Well, I think I never heard any preacher speak about that. Is that the most important thing in the Bible was it started with John the Baptist preparing the way. And how was he preparing that way? It was with confession. People would confess their sin. Okay? So, if you go to AA meetings, right? A person that's an alcoholic, he's never going to get cured of being an alcoholic unless he says that I'm an alcoholic, right? I have this problem with alcohol. I'm addicted to alcohol. I lost control. And it's the same with drugs, what you see in the movie Basketball Diaries and the Confessions of Nicky Cruz there. Like he was like he was part of the worst gang in New York, and then he became a Christian and a preacher and all that. And so he had to confess also, like, I wanted to stab everybody and things like that, and I was mad because I was abused, But everything starts with confession. Everything starts with admitting what you're doing wrong. And like, when I close this video, right, I might go watch porn on my computer or something like that. Are you gonna know? No, you're not gonna know. The only person who knows what I do is him upstairs. So religion is not about other people, like Jesus called everybody an hypocrite, right? And now some people are going to say, no, Mike, Jesus did not call everybody an hypocrite. He called the doctors of the law, the religious leaders, whatever you call them, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, or it doesn't matter. It's just a name. The point is that he called everybody an hypocrite, because even his disciples after that, if you know how to read the Bible, if you take the time to read the Bible, and if you don't listen to no preacher, if you read it for yourself and you meditate on it, you just keep it all the time in your mind, you're going to understand what I'm saying, dear, that everybody is an hypocrite, and the relationship between me and God, it's in between me and God. It's not in between of what other people see me do, whatever other people think about me, because in the end, the guy upstairs, if he does exist, okay, like we always have this fight between non-religious people. It's either he exists or he doesn't. Well, let's say he does exist. When it's the end, you're gonna meet him, and if he is God, then he's gonna know what you did. So the problem is not with society. The problem is what you do in secret, right? In secret. So everything is about secret. The JFK speech, secret. Societies, secret. Everything is hidden. Everything is secret. So I'm going to talk about the Bible. I'm going to talk about BDSM, because a lot of people are getting hurt in BDSM, and something's got to do, something has to be done about it, and someone has to do something about it, or it's never going to stop. It's always going to get worse. But people, they cannot dive into this because they're into this and they're being blackmailed, so they can't talk. But they could talk, like even if you're being blackmailed, you could say, yeah, okay, I've been doing this and I've been doing that, big deal. So now so you can't be blackmailed anymore. Know what I mean? Over and out.